What if the most powerful guy in school was actually the biggest weirdo no one noticed? A guy with no friends, no voice, no life until she showed up, and everything turned upside down. The story begins with a group of students from Chidori School. They're getting into a street fight, and this school is known for a student who looks like a thug, intimidating and scary. His name is Rintarou. As soon as he shows up to the fight, the other kids literally get scared and run away. Rintarou turns around and tells his friends, "Please don't start any more trouble." But his friends explain that they were the victims this time. Those other kids were the ones bullying them. One of Rintarou's friends even says, "We're actually the reason this whole fight started. They were looking for you to start something." Still, Rintarou walks off with his friends towards school. On their way, they pass a group of girls. The moment Rintarou sees them, he completely ignores them and keeps walking. One of the girls drops her handkerchief, so his friend Shuhei bends down to pick it up for her. But she coldly says, "I don't want it anymore," and walks away upset. Then we find out that there were two schools next to each other. The first one is Chidori School for boys, a public school filled with students from simple, modest backgrounds. Across from it is a private girls' school called Kyuko Academy, which only wealthy girls attend. The girls from Kyuko all despise the boys from Chidori, even though the schools are practically facing each other. Later, Shohei suggests to Rintarou, "Want to hang out after school?" But Rintarou apologizes, explaining that his mum just texted him he has work at the family shop starting at 6 p.m. Right after that, the teacher walks in and class begins. After school, Rintarou runs through the cold winter streets, trying to make it to work on time. But even then, he ends up late. His school is far from home. We learn that Rintarou's family runs a sweets shop, and he works there to help his mum. None of his friends at school know he works there. While he's working, he notices a very pretty girl sitting in the shop, eating sweets. When she sees Rintarou, she's clearly startled, and so embarrassed she almost chokes. Rintarou quickly gets her a glass of water. He's surprised to see how much she's eaten, tons of sweets all by herself. He also notices that she looks quite young, and wonders what school she goes to. The girl, embarrassed, finishes her food quickly and leaves. Rintarou sighs and says, "I probably scared her. I bet she won't come back again." Afterwards, Rintarou asks his mum about the girl. His mum tells him her name is Kurako, and that she's actually a regular customer who often comes to their shop. Rintarou says, "Sorry, Mum. I think I scared her away today. If she doesn't come back, it'll be because of me." But his mum reassures him, "Don't blame yourself. You didn't do anything wrong. Besides, no one can resist the delicious sweets I make." The next day at school, Rintarou sits quietly, still thinking about the girl, wondering if she really was scared of him. He also wonders which school she goes to, so he can find her and apologize. Shohei and the others notice Rintarou's odd mood and ask him, "What's wrong?" Rintarou just says, "Nothing, I'm going to buy lunch. You guys go ahead without me." His friends are puzzled by his behavior. When Rintarou gets home, his mom opens the door and tells him, "That girl, Kurako, is at the shop right now. She wants to see you." Rintarou is surprised and heads over to meet her. Just as he's about to apologize, she cuts him off and says, "I want to treat you to a meal." So Rintarou sits with her, still confused, wondering why a younger girl wants to buy him lunch. Kurako explains that she ran off awkwardly yesterday and wants to make it up to him. Rintarou notices that her eyes keep wandering toward the sweets. They're clearly all she can think about. She tries to act polite, saying she doesn't want any, but Rintarou insists, "If you want them, go ahead." Eventually, she gives in and eats all the sweets by herself. After eating, she says, "You're probably surprised I can eat so many sweets on my own." Then she asks Rintarou for his name and introduces herself. "I'm Kurako." Rintarou greets her and tells her his name too. Kurako looks genuinely happy to finally know his name and says, "I'm so glad I finally know your name." Rintarou is confused. "What do you mean by that?" Kurako blushes and admits, "I've actually been watching you work here for a while now." This isn't our first meeting. Rintarou realizes she wasn't scared of him yesterday. Kurako shyly explains that she ran away because it was the first time a boy had ever looked at her like that. Rintarou is confused again. He's used to people being scared of him because of how he looks. But it's clear now, Kurako really likes him. Rintarou gets flustered and offers to walk her to the station since it's getting late. Kurako agrees but says, "Let me buy some sweets first." After buying them, she says there's no need to walk her home. The station's nearby. Before leaving, she turns and says, "You thought I ran away because I was scared of you. But believe me, not even for a second was I afraid of you." As Kurako walks away, we notice two shady-looking guys watching her from a distance. Back in his room, Rintarou is still stunned. He's always been used to people avoiding him, afraid of his scary appearance. This is the first time in his life someone said something nice to him like that. But suddenly, his mom enters the room holding Kurako's sweets bag. She found it on the ground. She's clearly worried something might have happened to her. Rintarou rushes out into the streets to find her. Meanwhile, Kurako is being grabbed and harassed by two thugs. Rintarou arrives just in time and quickly realizes what's happening. Before he can act, he overhears the thugs mocking him. "No way a girl like you should like him. He looks scary and has a terrible reputation." Hearing that, Kurako gets angry and tells them, "Why do you judge people by how they look? You don't know anything about him. Everything you're saying is just rumors." The thugs get annoyed and are about to hit her, but Rintarou steps in at the last second, protecting her. He looks terrifying, and just as he's about to beat them up, the thugs get scared and run off. Kurako notices Rintarou is injured and rushes to check on him. She gives him a tissue, and he reassures her. Rintarou says, "As punishment for me, because this whole thing happened because of me." Kurako gently tells him, "Don't blame yourself. It's not your fault." She presses the tissue to his wound and says, "I don't understand why people speak badly about you. You're actually really kind." She thanks him again, and Rintarou is genuinely happy. This is the first time someone has truly seen his real personality. He walks her to the station, and before leaving, Kurako turns to him and says, "Let's eat sweets together again sometime." The next day at school, Rintarou sits quietly at his desk, staring out the window, wondering if he'll ever see Kurako at the shop again. But suddenly, he notices her. Kurako is at the school across the street. He quickly shuts the curtain, stunned to learn she's a student at Kyoko Academy. Back in class, Shohei complains about how every time he walks past Kyoko Academy, the girls give him nasty looks. He says he only ended up at Chidori because he had no other school to go to. Their friend Saku adds, "Yeah, none of us had any other choice." Everyone at Chidori seems to hate Kyoko Academy and its students. Rintarou sits silently, and his friends notice something's off. He's even closed the curtain, which is strange. He usually likes looking out the window. Shohei jokes, "Looks like you hate Kyoko Academy now too." Rintarou suddenly snaps, "I don't hate it." He quickly tries to cover it up, saying, "The sunlight was too bright." Saku notices Rintarou's odd behavior, but before he can ask more, class starts. Still, Rintarou can't stop thinking about Kurako. He assumes she was surprised to see him too. He figures she probably won't come to the shop again now that she knows he's from Chidori. He says to himself, "Honestly, that's for the best. There's no way a girl from Kyoko would ever get close to someone from Chidori." After school, Shohei asks Rintarou to hang out, and surprisingly, Rintarou agrees. As they leave, they see a crowd gathered near the school gate. They go to check it out and see a girl from Kyoko Academy standing at the gate, waiting for someone. That girl is Kurako. She's waiting for Rintarou. Rintarou is embarrassed and unsure what to do. Shohei walks up and mocks her. "What are you doing outside our school?" Kurako gets scared and quietly says, "I'm waiting for someone." Shohei yells, "Waiting for who?" Before things escalate, Rintarou pretends not to know Kurako likes a boy from Chidori. Still, Rintarou pretends not to know Kurako. Her friends from Kuroko arrive, worried about her. They ask what she's doing there, and quickly take her away, treating the Chidori boys coldly. Kuroko and Rintarou exchange looks, unsure what to do. Rintarou's friends are confused by what just happened. He wonders, was Kuroko really waiting for me? Or for someone else? He still can't believe she actually likes him. His friends notice something. They've never seen Rintarou smile before. Even Rintarou is surprised at how happy he feels. Later, the group goes to karaoke, but Rintarou stays quiet, lost in thought. Saku notices the wound on his forehead and asks what happened. They beg Rintarou to talk to them. He hesitates, thinking, if I tell them, they'll say it's impossible for a Kyoko girl to like a Chidori boy. So he decides to keep it a secret and says, nothing happened. She's been there the whole time. He's surprised and asks why she's here. She apologizes for the scene she caused at school. Rintarou says, lift your head, it's fine. Nothing happened. His mum enters and scolds Rintarou, saying, if you're going to be late, call me next time. Karako's been waiting a long time. She also notices Karako is hungry, so she makes sweets for both of them. Karako eats happily, and Rintarou asks, why did you come to the school today? She replies, because I wanted to see you, but don't worry, I won't do something reckless like that again. Rintarou says, it's okay, I was really happy to see you. Both of them get flustered, neither knows what to say. Rintarou says, I thought I'd never see you again. Karako asks why. Rintarou answers, because you're from Kyoko. Girls from there don't usually talk to guys from Chidori. Karako gets upset and says, that's not true. I was really happy to find out you're from Chidori. Then, suddenly, she says it's late and she needs to leave. Rintarou tries to call out to her, but she says, I was so happy I got to see you. I really thought I could get to know you better. She walks away, clearly hurt. Rintarou is devastated. He doesn't understand what he did wrong. His mum walks in and finds him sitting there, broken. He tells her everything that happened. She immediately smacks him and says, how could you let her walk home alone this late? Rintarou protests. She walked off so fast. I didn't know what to do. He still doesn't understand why a girl from Kyoko would care about a guy from Chidori. His mum tells him, you've always hated when people judged you by how you look. And now you're doing the same thing to Karako. Just because she goes to Kyoko, she urges him to go talk to her, just like she did with him. Rintarou realizes she's right and hits himself in frustration. I'm a terrible person. I didn't even notice how I made her feel. The next day, Rintarou waits at the gate of Kyoko Academy. As soon as he sees Karako, he apologizes for hurting her feelings. He says he was stupid and didn't know how to handle things. Karako blushes and says, you really are a kind person. Rintarou tells her that he was afraid to get close because it might cause her problems at school. But now he doesn't care anymore. He wants to get to know her, no matter what school she's from. Karako is overjoyed and forgives him. Before she leaves, she gives him her number so they can stay in touch. Later, back at school, Rintarou opens the curtain and waves to her from the window. And that's the end of today's episode. But Rintarou's story is far from over. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next parts. And if you made it this far, type I'm an otaku in the comments so I know you watched the whole thing. See you in the next video.